Welcome back, everyone. And Raz, I've got some good news and some bad news for you. The good news is Royal never give up. Looks like they're coming back in game 2. The reason I know this is because of our bad news. We have a tech issue, and our backed up footage that's supposed to keep the game from minute 0 stalled out so we can just hop in is kaput. So we're going to be hopping live into the game in just a moment. They're about 20 minutes in. We'll get you caught up on what happened in the early game in just a moment. But on your screen, you can see those pick bans. And let's run through that right now because RNG, they're back on the blue side. And you'll notice they have a Draven for themselves. That's not going to Zatai, Raz. That's going to Abel. He's replacing Let Me, and Zatai's going back top.
Yeah, so it's going to be fun to see how the Draven actually sets up on RNG side. Yeah,
it certainly is. And, of course, on the far side, FPX is trying to match that with Zaya and Rakan. And I'm already getting the cue for us to toss it because there's action going on into the game. Our casters are ready. Good luck, guys. Let's get into game 2.
Thanks, guys. We're dropping in hot. Oh, we're dropping in very hot. Oh, God. Where is it? Oh, no. We're live on Pachinki. What's going on? No. Oh, the game's over. RNG, take game 2.
Oh my god, that was a 22 smashing! Oh, that made up for game 1. God bless RNG. Thank you so much.
Alright, that was a great game 2 for us. I'm going to ask for your opinion right there.
The Draven really was the make or break there. I just think that was the key signature pick. The lane phase, if it hadn't worked out for them, that great, amazing Baron steal where all 15 people flashed over the wall.
Oh boy. That was a great game.
23 minutes on the clock. Let's try to figure out what happened.
Oh boy, there was a Draven. Alright, let's play some CSI. So we're 23 minutes into the game. There were 2 dragons. Was that just... Hang on.
10 towers to 3. I'm going to guess that Xiaohu and MLXG just went off in the mid lane. That mid lane tower fell first. That every other lane got neutralized. And then as soon as they were grouping up, that Zatai just blasted people on Ornn.
Yeah. Game played Singed.
Yep.
Yep. Alex played Nocturne. There was a Kindred. Yeah, Kindred banned by FPX. Okay. Hey!
For all the disappointment that I had for RNG in game number 1.
Made up for it. That was a great game
Definitely made up for it. Clean slate. We're going to game 3, boys.
Alright, fantastic. Well, that's enough from us. We're going to send it back to the analyst desk with Dom and Raz LaPlasm.
That was not planned. That was not planned.
What the hell?
A 23-minute game. They brought in Abel. Okay, I wish we had the opportunity to check Abel's CS because right now he's actually got the highest CS in the league. Or sorry, KDA in the league.
I'm sorry. Why are we even... Okay, so yes, there was definitely... These are the picks. We went through them a little bit.
These are the ones. We talked about the Draven. Shall we start by analyzing the picks or pretending to...
Look, let's go into some of the other picks suddenly. So I did hear that a lot of it came through, like, there are a few kills, and this is ridiculous. So a lot of the kills came on the Ords. Olaf and Zoe, please look at the VODs, the Chinese VODs, because we tried, man. God bless. Like, we tried to go in. There was a tech issue still. We couldn't run it live from, we couldn't run it on a delay.
Yes.
We tried to go in live, and apparently they just won it off of a single team fight. Like, out of nowhere.
As we were introducing the game.
So, we can't really say much, except for these are some good picks.
We actually do have that final team fight. So we can get a glimpse into what happened. Let's go ahead and bring that up and take a gander at how the game actually shook out from that last team fight. And as you can see, RNG, they're pushing up on the bottom inhibitor. It's 22 minutes in. That's a sleepy trouble bubble. LWX in the front takes to the skies nice and early to try and zone out of this, but that horn already used, and Xiaohu's in there.
This is complete Xiaohu domination because you had LWX utilize his ulti when he was safe through the minion wave. Of course, obviously a lot of things are happening 22 minutes into the game. So this is an easy dive.
The game ends in 40 seconds. We gotta wonder how... Alright, looks like FPX. They try to go for the fight. Dive into the back. Alex dives and goes gold on not the Draven. And then FPX group up, Malefic Visions onto Zatai, not enough to kill. MLXG flashes the wall with an axe, and Abel chases it down on Draven. Double kill, and FPX pushed back to the fountain. Really, 23 minutes in, they've got supers pushing in from the top lane, teleport from Zatai. Stay in the game. Good. Rez, break it down for me. 4, 1, and 2 on that Draven.
Alex made a mistake. he made a very deep mistake. So it was already snowballing pretty heavily, which is why they were going on to what they perceived as a game-ending push on their end, especially without Xayah with ulti, so that's a pretty easy look for inhibitor.
Or flash, yeah.
And it was going to just be an inhibitor until a man decided to just dive right in there. And so that's easy from that point forward. I mean, Alex, you only get one. That was a great game one, and now we find ourselves into game 3. So, wonderful game.
I mean, that... I could see the idea because there's a Draven and a Morgana and a Zoe. All three of them are grouped up. You look for the paranoia. Then you fear, you know you've got the stopwatch, but there's a Morgana. And the Draven gets spell shielded, and then you have to take the lesser of all of the evils.
Ultimately, there's actually no way you go in. That felt like a real desperation.
A panic move. Maybe even a misclick. Maybe he just hit the paranoia.
That's a really deep misclick to misclick your paranoia. Misclick a target.
Then mouse over to that side of the screen and click in. Look, we're just providing opportunities for him. So, Rez, to get back to the question that I wanted to ask you at the end of game 1, do you think RNG tries the same dog pile strategy that they used in game 1 that was unsuccessful against the chaos of FPX?
We could run that into game 3, because I think that going into game 3 now, I think a strong lesson was that you can now play through Xiaohu pretty heavily.
Yeah.
The way game 1 handled out was that we had a lot of faith into RNG that they would kind of smooth the game out, slow down the pace a little bit, but then they kept getting caught into the pacing of FPX a little bit now. Going into game 3, I love the fact that it was based off of the play that we heard from both Xiaohu and MLXG on the Olaf. It makes it a lot easier if you just focus on the 2v2 mid lane, which they lost to in the early game towards Alex and Cool.
Yeah.
So now game 3, both of them have learned that lessons. And we might get a lot more attention mid lane. I think that Ming has had a lot more experience in impacting mid lane more often. Crisp has been actually dabbling in it. He's been fairly good at it. He's strong in certain games, but now, and then focused on just protecting LWX and others. So RNG going into game 3 all depends on the pick ban.
Yeah,
I think that RNG should be able to take it in the mid lane.
That's the big hope for them. That mid lane actually gets our MVP for RNG. Xiaohu, off the back of that Zoe, was able to close out that match 2-0 in 7, involved in all 9 of those kills. And look at that, damage percentage, 33%. We can see those highlights. Oh, man! We are racing in on the back of this Nocturne, N64 style.
Oh, I mean, look at that. I love the fact that it went to this point, just because these are highlights of the game, of course.
Yeah.
You could showcase a lot of the early dives that RNG were able to output topside. So there we have it. Seems like they were rather aggressive getting into this one.
I would absolutely slow death as the music builds up is too good. And then MLXG just decides he wants in on the action. No amount of quickness is going to stop that Olaf from diving in. And then Alex has to give it the old melee range paranoia.
And the danger, of course, going up against Olaf Zoe is that once you lose any sense of control, as you can see Alex losing a lot of control of his own bodily functions, go straight in towards the enemy team and then just flatlines. But yes, you lose control of the game if Olaf Zoe gets the early kills, and that's what ended up happening. It must have been from the early ganks that came through, and then you see the dive on the top side of the map. That's just getting rolled over. We're talking about FPX at the game 1 composition rolling over RNG. Now that took a long time.
It did.
RNG made it real quick.
Yeah, well, it was FPX. They had to take 57 minutes for their win. RNG doing it in 23. We're going to go ahead and get that game 3 ready for you. We are live with China, so there's no need for any delay. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a 3-minute break. When the LPL will be right back.
让我们把故事传唱下去，继续书写 RNG 的传说。